Hi, Mrs. Mitchell's group. Today we're going to have a look at place value again, but today we're going to focus on adding and subtracting 1, 10 and 100. So just as a warm-up, I've put on the board some numbers. I'd like you to see if you can read them. So pause the video and see if you can read these numbers correctly. Okay, this one has got 4 digits, it's got thousands, so it's 5,000 and 30. It's got no hundreds, so we just say and. 5,000 and 30. This has also got 4 digits, which means it's got some thousands. 9,241. This has got 3 digits, it's got hundreds, tens and ones. 801. This one has got hundreds, tens and ones. 910. Hundreds, tens and ones. 175. And this one is the number 16. It's just got tens and ones. Ooh, now all these numbers have got a 3 underlined. Which of these numbers has got the 3 underlined in the ones column? Which number has got a 3 underlined in the ones column? The ones column is on the right hand side. It's this one. So 113 has got 3 in the ones column. Which number on the screen has got a 3 underlined in the tens column? So this is the tens column, the one next to the ones column. So the number 30 has got 3 in the tens column. Which of these numbers has got 3 in the hundreds column? So from the right we go ones, tens, hundreds. Which number has got a 3 in the hundreds column? This one has 309. Is there another one? It's this one. 9,341 has got 3 in the hundreds column. Which number has got a 3 in the thousands column? So over here we've got ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So 3,801 has got a 3 in the thousands column. Okay, what number is shown on the place value chart? So it's got 3 hundreds, 5 tens and 6 ones. What number is that? So 3 hundreds, 5 tens and 6 ones. It's the number 356. Down here it says, if one more 10 is added, what number would be shown? If one more 10 was added, well, I can see that 6 is ones, the 5 is tens, and the 3 is hundreds. So if I add one more 10, what number would it be? It would be 366. I add one more to the tens, but the hundreds and the ones would stay the same. What number is shown on the place value chart now? Can you write it down and then have a go at working out if one more 100 is added, what number would be shown? Pause the video while you do this. So I have got 2 hundreds, 5 tens and 3 ones. So it's 253. If I was to add one more 100, which means 1 to the hundreds column, and that's my hundreds column, I would have 300, and the 53 would still be the same. So I would have 353 if I added 100. Now, what number is shown on the place value chart? Write it down and work out if one more 10 is added, what number would be shown now? Pause the video while you have a go. Okay, I've got 4 hundreds, I've got 6 tens, and I've got 1 1. So the number I've got is 461. If I was to add one more 10, I would need to think about which is my tens column. So the 6 is in my tens column. One more 10 is going to be a 7 in there. So it's going to be 471. Okay, I've got the number 805. And this says, if I add 1 to my number, which digit will change? And what will my new number be? If I add a 1, which is the ones column? This is the ones column. I'm going to put a 0, an O above it, a T above that, and a H above there. So if I add 1 to my number, which digit will change? The 5 will change because that's in the ones column. The new number will be 806. If I add a 10 to my number, which digit will change? The tens digit will change. If I add one more 10, I'm going to have 815. I'm going to have one more in my tens column. And if I add 100 to my number, which digit will change? The hundreds digit will change, the 8 will change. If I add one more 100, I'm going to have 9 hundreds, and I'm still going to have 0 tens and 5 ones. So my new number will be 905. Okay, this time you've got a number shown using place value counters. Over here we've got to write the number, add 1 to the number, add 10 to the number, and add 100 to the number. I'm going to do the first one for you. So we've got 2 hundreds, 2 tens, and 1 1. So my number is 221. Here I need to add 1 to the number. So I'm going to add one more of these. I'm going to have 222. Next I need to add a 10 to the number, a 10 to this original number. If I add one more 10, I'm going to have 231. And if I add 100 to the number, one more 100, I'm going to have 321. Pause the video and see if you can work out the other two. You might want to draw yourself a table and work them out. Pause the video while you do this. Okay, first I need to work out how much I've got. So I've got 922. If I add 1, I'm going to add 1 to my ones column, 923. If I add a 10 to my tens column, I'm going to have 933. And if I add 100, if I add one more 100, I'm going to end up with 10 hundreds. 10 hundreds is the same as 1,000. I'm still going to have 20 and 2. It's going to be 1,022. That's a tricky one, so well done if you got that right. My number here is 543. 543. If I add one more, I'm going to have 544. If I add one more to my tens column, so 10 more, 553. And if I add 100 more, so 1 to my hundreds column, I'm going to have 643. Okay, similar sort of thing, but we've now got the base 10. So we need to write the number in this box, add 1, add 10, and add 100. What is this number showing? So these are worth hundreds. So it's 200. I've got 4 tens, so that's 40. 240, and I've got 4 ones, 244. If I add 1 to it, one more in the ones column, I'm going to have 245. If I add 10 to this number, so one more in the tens column, I'm going to have 254. Oops, sorry. And if I add one more to my hundreds column, this is my hundreds column, I'm going to have 344. Okay, looking at this next one, I've got 100 and I've got 2 tens. So 2 tens are 20, I've got 120. Pause the video and see if you can finish the boxes. Okay, if I add one more, I've got no ones at the moment. If I have one, add 1 to them, I'm going to have 121. If I add 10 to this, so one more 10, I'm going to have 130. And if I add one more 100, I'm going to have 220. I've got 3 hundreds here, a 10 and 5 ones. So 300, 110 and 5 ones. That's 315. If I add 1, I'm going to have 316. If I add one more to my tens column, 325. And if I add one more 100 from 300, I'm going to have 415. Well done if you got those right. Okay, I've got a challenge here. By drawing base 10, show what 10 less than this number would be. And then, what would 10 more than the number look like? So on your paper, draw what 10 less than this number is and draw what 10 more than this number is. Pause the video while you do this. Okay, so if I have 10 less than the number, I can just get rid of one of these 10s. And I would end up with 2,121. I could put a comma in between the thousands and the hundreds because the comma separates the thousands from the hundreds, tens and ones. If I have 10 more than the original number, I need to add another 10. I would have 2,141. So that's 2,141. By drawing base 10, show what 100 less than this number would be. And then, what would 100 more than the number look like? So your first one you've got to do 100 less, and your second one you've got to do 100 more. So have a go at drawing them on your paper and pause the video while you do this. Okay, so for 100 less, I'm going to hide, oh, not a 10, but I'm going to hide my 100. I'm going to move this away. So that was 2,131. It's now 2,000. I've got no hundreds and I've got 31. Now if I want 100 more than the original number, so that was the original number. If I want 100 more, I need to have another one of these hundreds, and I'm going to end up with 2,200 and 3 tens, so 30 and 1 1. 2,231. Okay, now using place value counters. By drawing place value counters, show what 100 more than this number would look like. And then, what would 100 less than the number look like? Pause the video while you draw the counters. Okay, if I'm going to have 100 more, I need another one of these, but I'm still going to have 3 tens and 5 ones. So my number would be 235. if I have 100 less than that original number, I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to be left with 35. Okay, your final question is to have a go at this. Rosie says, when I add 100 onto 159, I get 169. Jack says, when I subtract 10 from 76, I get 56. And Amir says, when I work out 1 less than 50, I get 49. Who has made a mistake, and how do you know? So going back to Rosie, when I add 100 onto 159, I get 169. Well, that's my hundreds column. If I add one more 100 onto there, I'm going to have 200. And I'm still going to have 59. So is Rosie right? Rosie says I get 169. But she doesn't, does she? She gets 259. What has she done wrong there? It's this digit that's changed. She's gone from 5 tens to 6 tens. So she's actually added on 10, not 100. Jack says, when I subtract 10 from 76, I get 56. This is his tens column. So if he subtracts a 10 from the 7, he should get 66, not 56. He's taking away 2 tens if he gets 56. And Amir says, when I work out 1 less than 50, I get 49. So 50 take away 1 equals 49. So who has made a mistake, and how do you know? Well, Rosie and Jack have made a mistake. Rosie should have got 259 and Jack should have got 66. But Amir was right. Okay, see you tomorrow for some more place value.